Hey everybody, welcome back to TechOdyssey. So today I'm here to talk about my full review of the new OnePlus 10 Pro that I've had for a day. Ha, just kidding. We're here to talk about the iPhone SE 2022. And this is a very interesting topic. And this is not my full review. That'll be out in a few days. Quite honestly, I was just too lazy to record it this weekend. I'm tired. I really am. It's been a long week. But talking about the phone, something dawned on me as it came upon my 2 weeks. And that is, I don't really want to switch back. And some people are probably like, okay, whatever, bro, you're just doing this for clicks. A lot of people that know me personally know that I always enjoyed having the iPhone SE, the last one, the 2020. I didn't like the tiny one, the original one, but I do like Touch ID. I do like the form factor. I like how small and compact it is. I like how it's easy to use at one hand. There's a lot of reasons I like it, and I also like the price point, because right now, the iPhone I've had that's been my iPhone, I guess you could say, of choice. I actually ditched my iPhone 8 Plus whenever I switched back and got this, also my iPhone 12 in purple, because, I mean, you see the lights back there. I like the purple iPhone. Talking about the iPhone 13 Pro, though, very good phone. I'm using it right now to record on, which is why I can't hold it up and go, okay, iPhone 13 Pro versus iPhone SE 2022. I don't have extra iPhones laying around. I'm sorry. Anyway, talking about the phones, so I left the iPhone 13 Pro to use the iPhone SE 2022, and it's not like, oh, I'm switching. I didn't even make a video about this because I don't believe in that. But now that it's time to take my SIM card out of this and quit using it as my daily driver, there are some reasons I don't really want to go back. And I do like the iPhone 13 Pro. It's a very good phone. Beautiful screen, OLED. It's got the ProMotion display, 120 hertz, Quad HD+. It's got epic battery life. It's got the 3 cameras on the back, a better selfie camera, and it's got lots of different features and stuff on it. It's good. It's their flagship phone. So you're probably sitting there going, why, old man, would you be interested in using the iPhone SE 2022? Well, there's several different reasons. One, and this is going to have a big parenthesis around it, I'm not a big iPhone fan. A lot of people know this. I much prefer Android. The only reason I have an iPhone, which is two different reasons. One is so I can record my videos with it, because as far as I'm concerned, it's the best for recording video when it comes to smartphones. And I airdrop stuff straight over to my MacBook Pro. I love using Final Cut Pro. I've used 3 or 4 different editing softwares. It's my favorite. So I do that. The other reason is for communication. I talk to my family all the time. All of my kids have iPhones. My family I have a lot of family. I have 8 siblings. There was 9 of us. All blood relatives, all no twins, no adopteds, 9 kids. There's a lot of us. And then I have a big family. I have my 6 kids. We have a big family. Probably 98% of them use iPhones. So it makes my life tremendously easier to be able to communicate with them using iMessage. And I carry 2 phones. Right now I have like 4 SIMs. My secondary phone right now is a Samsung Galaxy A53 because I'm testing it. And also this guy right here, the OnePlus 10 Pro, which I've been enjoying so far. But my numero uno main SIM is the iPhone. So having used this for the last 2 weeks now, the big thing for me is the battery life. Yes, it's not as good as the iPhone 13 Pro, but the iPhone SE 2022 just wasn't good enough. And it was a big disappointment, like really big disappointment, because I really enjoyed using it 2 years ago. Now, it lasts me all day. So now that I can get all day battery out of it, I love the form factor. I like Touch ID. I've made no secrets about this. I don't like Face ID. It's really irked me the last 2 years, especially while we were wearing masks all the time. Yes, I know there's the thing with the Apple Watch now, and I think they have the update where it'll recognize your face with a mask on, but that doesn't change history the last 2 years, and also it's still no Touch ID. And I really wish they would put Touch ID into the power button, just like they have with like the iPad Airs and the iPad Mini. It works so well. Why do they keep screwing us over? I don't know. Probably because it's Apple. But using the iPhone SE 2022, again, I like the small form factor. I like how light it is. I like that it lasts me all day. I like having Touch ID. The cameras are perfectly fine. Yes, it only has one on the back and one on the front. I don't go around taking pictures all the time. The only time I ever really do that is for doing reviews. If I didn't do video reviews, I wouldn't have an iPhone 13 Pro. I would use this. And a lot of it is also value. And a lot of people say, okay, the iPhone SE 2022 is not a good value because it's $30 more than the iPhone SE 2020. That was an amazing value. I don't know how we have that distinction for $30, especially whenever it brings more RAM, a bigger battery, and it also has 5G. There's been a lot of things that have changed over the last 2 years. I think that's a pretty fair price bump for $30. especially considering it costs me more a month for 1 gallon. It costs me more for one tank of gas now than it does for the price increase over the phone for the last 2 years. So I don't know, maybe it's a perspective thing, but yeah, if I cared so much more about having a top of the line iPhone, maybe it would irk me more. But I pretty much never use the telephoto, which doesn't reach out that far anyway. I don't care about wide angle photos basically at all. It's even mostly an afterthought when I review cameras. I'm like, okay, here's your wide angle photo. Don't spend a lot of time on those. But the primary camera, it is improved. The computational photography has bumped it up a notch. It's better than the iPhone SE 2020. The selfie camera is okay. Some people are like, okay, it doesn't have night mode. Sure. And I took some photos in low light mode with other cameras and compared them and put it next to it. Yeah, the low light photography on this phone is a joke. It's dirt. But I don't care. I don't take low light photos. The only time I do that is to take them for reviews. I don't sit around and take low light photos for my own amusement. It's just not something that I do. So at the core tenets of the phone, I like the keyboard. The keyboard on the larger phones, I don't know what it is. It's gotten worse. The iPhone keyboard used to be the gold standard, and now it definitely is not. And a lot of it, I think, has to do with the way the algorithm works for the larger screen for the same keyboard. On the larger keyboards, it's just never translated the same. The smaller ones have always seemed to handle it differently. But yeah, I know that it only has a 720p screen. I know it's 4.7. I know it's an old LCD. It doesn't get amazingly bright. Look, I've got my favorite Nomad leather case on here that I got for like $8. I got the phone for $400. And I enjoy using it. I enjoy what it brings to the table. I enjoy that it lasts all day. I don't care that it doesn't have a whole bunch of elaborate camera stuff on it. I wish it did have a better screen. If this had the OLED with the 120 hertz, I would use it indefinitely. I do really like the 120 hertz. There's nothing about this that I could say, okay, I can live with this. I mean, I can, but it's not my preference. I would much rather it have a better screen, right? Of course, we all would. So maybe, I don't know. I think this is going to be the last time we see this body style. I'm sure at some point I'm going to switch it back over to my other iPhone. I don't know when or why. I'm going to hold on to this so I can make more videos about it later. I don't buy stuff and then go return it. So it's not like it's going to go to waste. But talking about it's not as big of a joke as people think. I don't know why. We've got so wrapped around the axle about having to have a $1,000 phone. And Apple has pushed the envelope on pricing that they've been gouging us for years and years and years. They were the first ones to make the $1,000 iPhone with the iPhone 10. And I hated it then. I hate it now. I don't like paying that much for phones. And now all the flagship phones are like $1,000. And the other thing is with an iPhone, you get 95% of the same experience with this guy as you do with the $1,000 phone. That's pretty much a fact that you can't really go out and dispute a bunch. The operating system is exactly the same. It feels the same. It works the same, other than you have to swipe up from the bottom instead of swiping down from the top to get to the quick settings menu. That's about it. So yes, it's always been an argument of mine. I used older iPhones for the longest time. I held on to my iPhone 8 for a while, then I moved over to the 8 Plus. The 8 Plus is nice. I hope that these rumors of an iPhone SE Plus one day come to fruition, because that would be perfect. I would like a little bit larger screen. I would like a 120 hertz refresh rate. That would be great. I don't even need the 1080p. On a screen size is small. It's not that big of a deal. You can't tell much of a difference. And a lot of people are like, oh, it's got an older screen and a lower resolution. Your eyes really can't tell the difference. I use this all the time as my daily driver that I've been testing out for the last 2 weeks. And then I pick up my iPhone 13 Pro. You can't tell that much of a difference. I mean, you can, I guess, if you really, really pay attention, but the screen is so small, it's not pixelated. It's not blown out. It's not distorted from the amount of pixels that are there. It looks pretty good for a 4.7-inch screen. Now, if you try to put a 720p resolution on this 6.1-inch screen on my iPhone, yeah, you're really going to tell a difference. It would look like dirt. But as it gets smaller and it's more compressed, it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, that's about it. I don't need to sit here and justify my thoughts on it, but I do want to try and explain to people it's not as big of a deal as you've seen. A lot of people have been trashing this phone, have been saying a lot of bad things about it before it even came out, especially now that after it's come out. And you don't really see a whole lot of coverage out there in the tech reviewer community, because tech reviewers don't use an iPhone SE. They use an iPhone 13 Pro, iPhone 13 Pro Max, S22 Ultra. This has had my primary SIM in it for over 2 weeks now. I don't regret it. I've enjoyed using it. And honestly, I don't really feel compelled to switch back. there's just nothing that's really that great on the other end of the iPhone experience with the iPhone 13 Pro that's substantially different. And also, it's not as heavy, it's not as bulky, and I like the form factor on here. I really do. And it's not one of those things where it's like, oh, I'm trying to get views. Nobody watches my iPhone videos. I'm mostly an Android channel. It's like most of the time I make an Apple video, it flops. I think one of the last iPhone videos I made on this phone, even like a week ago, got like a whopping 2,000 views. So this isn't something that's I'm expecting to go viral and get 1 million views, because it just won't happen. I'm just letting you know, if you're interested in this phone, if you thought about picking one up, or if you've been curious about it, it's a very, very good experience. I've enjoyed it. I think if you want one, you'll probably enjoy it. But if you want an iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, iPhone 13 Pro Max, then that's probably what you need to get. If you're curious about this and you think that this might be a good phone for you, you only want to spend $400 and you want all the same Apple services, all the same Apple experience, don't have to worry about Face ID, get to enjoy using Touch ID, and have a nice compact form factor that's going to last you all day, this is it. And like I said, I've been enjoying using it for over 2 weeks now. Solid phone. So that's all I have to say in this video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to go down in the comment section. I'll get back with you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the like and the subscribe button and the little notification bell if you want updates when new videos come out. And as always, thanks for being here. I appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys next time.